Hey, my name is Mitch, I'm 20 years old from Sydney, Australia, and this is my application for the TWLOHA internship. It's something that means an immense amount to me. I've always tried to connect as well as I can with the communities that I'm part of, especially the community in my church. I'm part of a group of people who act as greeters. They make sure that people that are new always have somebody to sit with and a conversation to get them started. I think there's so much value in talking to people and being willing to hear their stories. And I think that when community is healthy, it looks like people who have come together because they have a common heart for something, reaching out to each other and to other people, building relationships and interpersonal connections in a way that really fosters hope and pushes back against loneliness. I think I would be a good addition to the TWLOHA team because I am somebody who has had a lot of experience with mental health issues, both personally and in other aspects of my life. It runs in my family. I have had friends throughout high school that have tried to connect to them, to reach out to them and to support them as much as I can. I'm also a third-year psychology student who only has non-mental health based subjects left to go, which is why I've taken a year off to do some other things and have an opportunity to hopefully come along onto this program. I am a really confident communicator. I get across my ideas clearly, although I do have a tendency to talk quite a lot. It's very hard for me to compress this application into 5 minutes. But I am a very conceptual, language-based person. It gives me an advantage when it comes to listening to people, to really hear what they're saying, to attend to it, to understand it, and to respond in a way that's helpful or in line with what it is that they feel like they need in that situation. Someone who's been a major influence on my life is Garrett Russell. He's the singer of a band called Silent Planet. He is a Christian guy who's got a master's in psychology, and I had the opportunity to meet him about a month ago, and it shone through his personality how much of a joy-filled and a loving and caring person he is. When I was talking to him, I could tell that he was listening to me with his entire body, and it really showed a great example of someone who's striving to become more like Jesus in their everyday life. And I think he, to me, acts as an example of what that can look like for myself. I think the main way I influence other people is by being a hopeful presence in their lives. I always try my best to come across as someone who is willing to listen and offer a perspective that is more positive and reflects a world that isn't as bad as things could seem. Things that I'm passionate about other than TWLOHA would have to be video games. Ever since I was like 8, it's been my main pastime and my biggest hobby. I'm also really passionate about language. It's something that I learn about casually, out of interest, whenever I can. I think I'll probably study linguistics at some point in the future, once I've taken a bit of a break after I'm qualified as a psychologist. And I'm also passionate about photography. I have this wall of different photos that I've taken that are really memorable. The most at the moment are a trip to Netherlands that I had the opportunity to take to study positive psychology in January. It might be a cheesy answer, but I think one of the hardest things I've ever done for something I believe in is to apply for this program and to go if I have the opportunity. My mum particularly is very overprotective, and I think that America is something that scares her, as well as me being away for 3 months. But the value that I will get out of this, the personal growth and the experience, is something that I don't think I can pass up if I have the opportunity. 5 random or quirky facts about myself. I think this has been the most fun question for me to consider how to answer, because I think there are quite a lot of things about me and my personality that are odd or unique in a really good way. One of them would be that I can do a lot of odd things with my body, including being able to crack over 40 of my joints. And I can invert my eyelids. A personal book of Proverbs, just little quotes and things that I've heard over the past few years that I have filled that are good or positive. That I believe I have a broader range of interest and love of music than most people, across like 10 different genres, and I think on average over the last 6 years I would have listened every day on average to music for between 5 and 8 hours. I never sit still while brushing my teeth. I always do things like make my bed or wash up dishes. Finally, I can put on clothes really quickly with only one hand, especially socks.